Hello everybody. I am here at I Love Mahj again, and my tiles are already dealt out, and I am going to be playing a full game now, and I will talk through the different phases, begin, middle, and end game, as the strategies arise during the game. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to sort by suit. I have my wins and dragons, which I normally put down at the right hand side. Not for any reason in particular, but I kind of like them there because they have their own category on the right side of the card. And then I'm going to start working off of my multiples. So I have sevens, and sevens don't work out in 2024 category or the 2468 category. And by the way, if you don't have your 2024 National Mahjong League card, grab it right now and sit it in front of you. How about any like numbers? Well, I do have another 7, and as I've mentioned before, with this category, there's only 3 hands under there, and I know one of them uses soaps or uses dragons, and so I'm going to put those over there as well. And since I have the north, east, west, and a pair of souths, I can also keep an eye on the bottom hand, and if I get in the west and I pick some flowers, I can also, keep my eye on that one too. Then I'm going to look at the addition hands. I don't have any of those combinations in one suit except for the 7, so I don't have any combinations, so I'm going to skip that. No jokers, I'll skip quints. What about consecutive numbers that I could build off of the 7s? Well, we've got 5 and 6, 5, 6, 7. If I had a 4 or I had an 8, I'd keep those as well, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm keeping numbers before and after the 7. That would work out in a consecutive number. What else do I have here that I can use to work off of the 7s? Well, I do have 4 wins, and if I were to want to do the bottom concealed hand under wins and dragons, it does work with like numbers in 2 suits, and that would be a part of that right there, which is looking very pretty. Now, I do have 2s and I do have soaps, and those would be 2024. But since I have my pairs of 7s, and they don't work with the 2s and 4s in that year hand section, I'm not going to work in that section. Now let's talk about the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 category. I'm already keeping the 5 because I talked about keeping that for the run. So I've already got the 5 7s for the 5, 7, 9 category, or I should say the high-end odds, 5, 7, 9. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this pass. Now, yes, that's a nice pass. There's like number 2s, there's runs with 2s and 3s, but as long as you follow the general rules, which are do not pass a pair, so don't pass 2 like tiles, and do your very best not to pass flowers and not to pass our Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde tile, the soap here, then you will be fine. You want to build your hand. You can't worry about what everybody else is playing, because then it'll prevent you from building your particular hands. Now I got another 7 in, so that's looking pretty there. And I have to make a decision. I also got another dragon in. I got the red in. And I have to make a decision of what I'm going to pass. Well, I know I don't need the 1, and I think that based on the fact that all of this up through the 7 dot is that concealed bottom wins and dragons hand, I'm not going to worry about the fact that it's concealed, by the way, and I don't want you to worry about that when you're just starting to form your hands and sections that you're collecting the tiles for, because you want to go where the tiles take you. You can always switch out. So if we're keeping track of that bottom hand there, and I'm able to keep track of like numbers with 7s as well, and something doesn't work out because that west, which is really going to be needed before we're set to call Mahjong, because you can't call number 1 anything in the concealed hand, but you can call for Mahjong. So if for any reason all those wests go out, well, that's going to make that hand a dead hand anyway. And as far as the bottom any like numbers hand goes, I also need the single west for that, plus I need a pair of flowers. So I think I'm going to keep an eye on the bottom concealed hand and the second any like numbers hand. Things could change, but in the meantime, that's going to be my direction. But if we can keep track of other things, we can do so. So I'm not going to keep these, which I was keeping for the run, 5, 6, 7 run, because everything else is coming in beautifully right now. This is all any like numbers. It could turn into like numbers with line number 3 with the single news there. It could be line number 2. So we're just going to wait and see what happens as things continue on. Now I got another 7 to fill in for like numbers. And I am on the first Charleston. So this is where I would want to utilize a blind pass. And the computer will take it from my partner, but you saw in one of the episodes how this is done in person, but the computer is going to take the tile from the incoming pass from Wes here on my right. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to see if I get any more clarity, and then we'll talk about what do we do, whether we're going to stop it or continue, and let's get going. All right, so I didn't get in anything toward what I'm keeping here, but I do have to continue because I don't have just one hand. I have 2 things that I'm keeping track of right now, which is the any like numbers or the bottom concealed hand under Winds and Dragons. So how do I make a decision about this? Well, I'll tell you how. The any like number sections, they're all exposed hands, which means that during the game I can call and expose. The concealed hand is a little more challenging because I can't call and expose anything. And I still do have to think about the fact that I need to get that single tile, that west, before they all get discarded on the table. So in this particular case, I am going to pass one of these tiles. And I'm going to keep the north and south because under that category, there is a hand that does use 2 consecutive numbers, although I don't have them right now, but I'll keep it for a while and keep an eye open in case I do get another number that would work in a consecutive with the 7s. And that way I can keep my north and south, since line 3 has north and south on line 3A and then east and west on line 3B. So this is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to continue. Charleston. And I got another 7 in. Well, it's really looking like numbers is headed my way. And I'm going to go ahead and do the east, the 6, and I'm going to do one of the souths now because I don't want to break up any of my beautiful tiles that are working very nicely for the any like numbers line number 2 with the dragons. All right, I didn't get anything else in, so I'm going to pass these on for my last right.
Courtesy pass.
And I didn't get anything else in, and now we're on our optional across The computer does call it or this gaming platform, a courtesy pass. I'm used to calling it optional across, and I do believe that is what the National Mahjong League names it in their rule book. So I'm going to go ahead and click 3. And I got back an east. So I can now keep track of the third line under any like numbers if I get the west, and line 2 are both coming in very nice. I don't need to make a decision right now. I have discards, and when I run out of discards that don't fit into my hand, then I'm going to have to make a decision. So let's get started.
1 crack, 6 dot.
I'm going to be playing through the first 33 tiles rather quickly.
3 dot.
Because I don't need to think about
9
or worry about what's going out, what somebody is playing, or anything like that at this point of the game. But I will definitely want to consider, ooh, look at that, I've got my news there.
6 crack.
Once I get another tile in, either a dragon or a 7, we'll have to make a decision.
5 crack. 6 bam.
And I have no jokers too. I could have looked at the singles and pairs jokerless hands, but the way this was starting to form and work out, these are my best options right now.
2 crack.
Again,
5
I'm not
crack.
going to keep
4 crack.
think about too much about what
2
I'm
bam.
discarding
Call.
right now.
2 crack.
We have a call. I don't know what Wes is doing with just one pung of 2 bams up, so
3 bam.
we're good
Call.
to go.
8 crack. 4 crack. 1 bam.
Now Wes has a pung of 2 bams and a pung of 3 bams, and so he could be playing several, at least a few different things. He could be playing the pung pung kong kong in the 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 or 2 suit, second from the bottom consecutive run hand, either side, A or B. He can also be playing consecutive run line number 2, where it would be 1, 2 with an opposite dragon, and then 3, 4. So a pair of 1 bams, a pung of 2 bams, a pung of 3 bams, and a pair of 4 bams with either the soap or the red, which would be opposite dragons to the bams. So for line 2, we know he needs 1 bams and also 4 bams, as well as either the soap or red dragon. And for line number 7, second from the bottom, he needs 4 and 5 bam, or 4 and 5 in either kongs and either dots or cracks. And you can always find this, pause the video and find those hands anytime you need to.
6 crack. 4 bam.
Now, if he needs the 4 bam, he's going to call it. This is a reason why you get tiles out early. He may need it, but he may not be ready to call it. So let's see.
8 bam.
He did not, so maybe he's not playing with the bams, the 1 suit.
2 bam.
Or maybe he's not ready. Especially if he is playing line 2, where he actually needs a pair of 4 bams.
1 dot. 3 dot. Soap.
Now I have an opportunity to call the soap and make a decision here as far as what I'm going to be playing. So I do have the pair for the 7s, and I have the 7, already 3 7 bams, so I could call the 7 for the kong in that second hand under any like numbers. My big concern is having the 7 crack and that being available. I can also be playing the third hand down, but I don't have flowers at all yet. I could get them, but in this particular case, I'm going to go ahead. My hand is pretty nicely formed, the fact that I could call this other 7, and I only need 1 more tile, good pick, to call the red. I'm going to take a chance on this, and I'm going to call that soap for a pung for the matching dragons to the 7 dots. I'm going to go ahead and do it.
Call.
And so I've now committed to that second hand under any like numbers, and I'm going to start getting rid of my wins.
South. 3 crack. 2 dot.
And wins are good to
2
get
dot.
out early because you just never know when somebody is playing them. Now I did get a flower. I'm going to hold it for a little bit. We don't need flowers in line 2, but I like to hold them for a little bit in case somebody else throws one and somebody calls it and puts up a joker. It's a good way to get a joker exchange, but we'll see.
West. 3 crack.
We won't hold it too long
7 crack.
since they're very, very needed. Now there's one of my 7 cracks that I need to cover that other pair because I can't call a pair during the game, but I can't call it now.
2 dot.
So I'm just going to ignore and
8
just
dot.
keep.
East. Flower. 4 crack.
Somebody called that flower and put up a joker. Well, I get a joker exchange here. Important, make sure you look around the table, whether you're in person or playing on the computer. Double click on the
Joker
joker
swap.
and it gives me my joker. Now I am able to call my red if it goes out, and I do hope that I get a chance to do that before the 7 goes out, or I get to call my 7 bam for the Kong.
East. North. North.
Looks
West.
like nobody is playing wins this time around. At least I'm pretty sure, with as many as has gone out up at this point.
3 crack. North. South. South. West. So. 2 crack. 1 crack.
All right, that's another flower.
North.
I'll start dumping
8
those
bam.
soon.
6
Now
dot.
we're into the middle game right now. We're at 52 tiles. So the first 33 have gone. The begin game is over. We're in the middle game. We'll be in the middle game until we get down to 33 tiles.
8 dot.
Now let's see. Wes could be using the 4 or another suit with the 4 and 5. And 1 4 bam went
4
out.
bam. 4 bam. 9 crack.
So pretty sure he's not playing 2, 3, 4, 5, or he just was not ready to call any of those.
3 dot.
3 4 bams are out now. And here's another situation with the 5. If he needs it, I get it out early, and that way it makes it even harder
5
for
bam.
him to get
8
it.
bam. 6 bam. 5 bam.
There's another one. So it looks pretty much like he's not playing the bams 2, 3, pung pung, kong kong with 4s and 5s.
Flower. Mahjong.
Okay, so I discarded the flower a little bit earlier on. Someone discarded a flower, nobody called it, and I knew that I had to start getting them out before the end game, which I did, but Agata was very well set with his tiles and playing a consecutive run, line number 6 on the cards. You can pause and find that right now, with the quinta flowers, the single tile 6, 7, 8, and the pungs in the next number up in opposite suits. So that's very nice. So, my hand was coming in nicely. I did everything I was supposed to do it when I was supposed to do it, and this just happened because he's very well set for his hand. And there were still quite a bit of tiles left. We weren't even in the end game. 42 tiles remaining. So there we go. But anyway, my hand was very well set to call the 7 bam, the red, and be on call or set for the 7 crack. But he beat me to it, or she beat me to it, I should say. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode right now, but I definitely will be doing lots more full games at I Love Mahj, so stay tuned for those upcoming episodes, and have a great day. Come in here and practice. Make sure you check out the How to Use I Love Mahj episode that I have for you, and how to use the exercise room. You're going to be able to rewatch this on the MahjCon, MahjCon YouTube channel. Please subscribe because you will see all of the videos that I post. And please consider joining on Wednesday night. I have live streams that occur every Wednesday night where I walk through skill building with an audience on YouTube and on Zoom. And to find this link, the easiest thing to do would be for you to go to MahjCon and send me a message through the Contact Us link and let me know that you would like to be added to the email list. I email everybody on Sundays or Mondays to let everybody know and remind them about Wednesday night skill building. So I am hoping that you will consider joining, because as you get to be a better player, this is going to be something that's going to be a lot of fun for you to participate in. Don't forget the link to try I Love Mahj under my affiliate is in the video description. Until the next video, please practice, practice, practice. Practice does make perfect, especially in this game. And I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.